I'm Sammy, and tweet, bitch.
I'm Caleb, and I want to talk about the wieners in my mouth.
Hi, I'm Cordell, and I've got the next $1 million adaptation pitch.
And this is Junk House.
I want to tire out the wieners in my mouth.
What's up, guys? I'm Sammy, and welcome to Junk House.
Yeah. And I'm Cordell, the Powder Puff Girl.
Powder Puff.
Powder Puff Girl to avoid copyright infringement.
I'm still laughing at my own joke. I'm not going to lie.
You're an idiot. Especially because you mentioned this earlier to me, so I understand that joke, but it is still wild.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, that's Caleb, by the way.
Oh, Caleb. Yeah, that's my name.
We said our names twice, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay because
we
love us, and this is our vanity project. So we're gonna be vain.
True, exactly.
Speaking of vanity and self-centeredness, I'm so mad right now for nothing either of you did, but I'm going to tell you about it.
Okay.
So, I play a game called Magic the Gathering. Don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Uh-oh. Yeah, yes, I have heard of it. That was for what is probably coming.
Yeah. All right, hit me with it.
And as Caleb definitely knows, and Sammy I think has gotten a hint of, I have started getting into the more competitive scene, and I've started getting a little more into the finance of it, less in trying to turn a profit and more in just trying to get good cards before they get expensive.
Okay, yeah. I completely understand that. Pokemon wise, I try to be the same, but it's very hard.
I mean, you end up paying a lot of money for cardboard, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, for real.
But this was the first set I was going to try to implement my strategy of picking up cards I think will be good before they're expensive.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the most recent set, and there are cards that are $8-9 now that I could have gotten for 60 cents when they first came out. And I'm like, aw, nuts, Cordy. And so this set, I made a list, and I have all of them pulled up, and I'm ready to jump, and I was like, these are the cards I'm going to buy. And I was waiting until I visited my brother for us to go buy them together. And in the course of 7 hours yesterday, one of the cards I wanted to get...
Which one?
It's called Ledger Shredder. It's from the new set.
Yeah.
People have been saying it had some potential, and I was like, I like this card. I like the design. I think it's neat. I want to try to get it. It was around $1 at the beginning of yesterday. By the end of the day, it was $10.
Oh.
It got bought out from almost everywhere. Good luck finding a copy. Good luck finding it for less than $10. And I think it was because there is a frustrating finance thing that happens with Magic now and it's the same thing that happened with Pokemon with Logan Paul or what's his name? I don't even care.
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Where it's person with a lot of followers says something is good, so speculators rush to buy it out to resell it for higher value.
Yeah.
And do you think do you think our influence as influencers, Cordell, and how we talked about Magic the Gathering on our other show, Just Super, made the market as crazy as it is? Do you feel guilty?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was us. We've got a lot of reach, a lot of influence.
Yeah, because
people ask my opinion all the time.
Yeah, I've had several people reach out to me angry because I said Alrin's Epiphany is ruining Standard, and then they nerfed it, and then they banned it. So I think I did that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you banned it.
I did it.
But what I know we're not responsible for is the $9 change in price in a single day.
That's pretty insane for cardboard.
It's ludicrous. And it's cardboard, but it's cardboard I love that has brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
And so I've learned my lesson here, and that is place orders immediately when I see a card is cheap and think it might be good, because I've been burned by it now, and I'm still angry. This happened yesterday afternoon, and I have not stopped being mad about it. Because I could have spent $4 and had some neat cards that I liked that I was going to play with, and now if I want them, I have to spend $40.
That is very frustrating and dumb.
Yeah, so that's my gripe. We can move on, talk about other things.
Well,
I love Magic. I'll talk about it in a positive light eventually.
There's also some other gripes that we probably should talk to, because the viewers will have the insight of the future. But
Ooh.
I have been very upset recently because the Supreme Court decision leaked. And they are possibly overturning Roe v. Wade. And that's great for a trans person like me, because you know what that means? A lot of people are speculating that after Roe v. Wade, after that is torn down and abortion becomes illegal, you know what they're coming for next? LGBT rights. Yay! But there is good news, and why I even wanted to bring this up. But Cordell, what were you going to add?
I was going to say, let's not pretend they're not already coming for that. They've been coming for it all the whole time. It's part of a comprehensive strike. There are people out there who hate you.
Yeah.
And
just for
want
being
you
me.
dead.
And
And so I'm not going to say it's everybody. I'm not going to claim malicious intent on everybody, but there are people out there moving pieces who want people like you dead, and I hate them.
Yeah, same.
And
So that
just to get into sorry, it's something I don't really get to talk about on any other podcast, but I heavily keep up with politics, especially stuff when it involves the Supreme Court is kind of my passion. So for those of you who don't know, Roe v. Wade was not one on a right to abortion. That's not at all what it's actually about.
Nope.
It's a right to privacy.
Yep.
Cut and dry. That's it. Which then set the precedent for not only is it okay to be legally married in a same-sex relationship, it goes down to, is it even okay to be homosexual or bisexual or whatever?
Yes.
It came down to that level of right of privacy, because pre-Roe v. Wade, homosexuality was in the DSM, which, if you don't know what the DSM is, that is a list of mental conditions that people can legally use to make it to where you can't work or be put in an institution. So these are things that are not small little things. This is a very big deal.
And the right to privacy, that's where you see the dominoes falling, is by getting rid of this thing, they're also getting rid of the precedent and saying that the Constitution holds no right to privacy.
Which also gets into something else real quick, which is the right to privacy, while not explicitly stated in the Constitution itself, is covered under the 19th Amendment. Which is an amendment that strictly says if a right is not covered in any of the previous amendments or in the Constitution, it falls under the 19th Amendment, with right to privacy being one of those things. The other thing that it says, and if you guys want legit arguments over why Roe v. Wade shouldn't be overturned other than right to privacy and stuff, there is a kind of legit argument that outlawing abortion and making it illegal is actually a violation of the 13th Amendment.
Okay.
Because it falls under forced labor practices.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if we, odds are we may have, if there's a listener out there that is wanting to know the legit legal practices of how you can file this and how you can go through this, look into the 13th Amendment and how that falls under forced labor practices, because, and this is the loophole, the labor is actually a double meaning there with forced birth and forced actual physical labor. That was
part of, yeah.
And it was written that way for that reason. So,
okay,
here's my gift to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully by the time everyone is listening to this, we will at least have an answer and clarification over it. I really just wanted to bring it up because obviously it is really important. Also, two quick things. Apparently I've saw this both on Reddit. so I don't know. I haven't looked super into it yet. But apparently, the hacker group Anonymous has specifically threatened the Supreme Court about this.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. And actually, this morning when I was talking to one of my shift leads at Starbucks about it, I was like, that actually kind of makes me feel better. Because they were like, yo, you're playing with fire. And if you keep going, you gonna get burned.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, granted, I don't follow politics to the degree Caleb does, but like, didn't multiple Supreme Court justices block inquiries into their connections to the January 6th insurrection? So like, you have people on the Supreme Court who are deciding to hide whether or not they were connected to an insurrection and treason, which kind of paints them in a bad light. They're intentionally hiding that while also striking down other things, while Democrats are telling us to vote harder, like they're not in majority everywhere.
Yeah. It's bad. It's ridiculous.
Bad news bears.
I don't remember the second thing I was gonna say. So why don't we step away from the seriousness and
you were gonna make it
memes.
positive. You were gonna make it positive. I think the hacker thing was positive to me, and I don't remember what the second one was.
So real quick, here's a positive thing. If I'm going to step in, it's just stay in kind of this space. The unsung hero of what is going on right now that is causing these conversations to happen. I don't know who the clerk is that leaked that draft, but whoever did that, you deserve all the good things in life.
For real.
That's true.
Also, I remembered it.
Yay!
The Satanic Church has come out saying that if abortions are made illegal under religious practices, you can go and get an abortion through the Satanic Church, due to the protections of religious.
It's in the Satanic Church's 10 Commandments that like it basically echoes the 13th Amendment of like no labor should be forced, whether that be physical or birth.
As a person who came from a very conservative upbringing, my Facebook is a war zone right now. It is. It is just some people who are like just absolutely, just ravenously attacking anyone who's like, hey, maybe this is a really dangerous overstepping, and maybe we shouldn't do this. And they're like, oh, so you love killing babies, right? You love them? You want to kill babies? You want to kill babies? Let's kill babies right now. Let's do it.
Let's go. You're like, okay.
And it's like the same guy on every single one. And
it's
I'm like,
always
you need to
guy.
calm down.
It's always that dude.
It's always that guy.
Should not say names. Yeah, but no, it's...
Yeah. But meme time. Let's get into the memes.
Meme time.
In the meme-ol of our memes.
I have a less serious issue.
Yeah?
Less serious than Magic the Gathering?
Less serious than Roe v. Wade. I don't like my Twitter handle anymore.
What? I love seeing you detweeting.
I don't know. I mean, don't.
It is a little pedestrian.
It's a little pedestrian. And I am a goddess among pedestrians. So I need a better Twitter name. And I thought it could be fun if we made it content. If we made up my Twitter name on the air.
All right. Here is my pitch. I have 2 pitches for you right off the bat.
Let me set up some stuff real quick.
Okay.
The initial idea I had, my favorite Pokemon is Volcarona. Okay. And I've been realizing more and more that because of this, I have transferred more into just liking moths in general. Like they've become more of my spirit animal because I'm obsessed with Volcarona. So the initial idea was to change my Twitter name to Mother Moth, but that is taken. So I like the the frame of having the first word be mother is cool to me. But I would also like to hear.
Because Sammy is mommy.
Okay, so
That's true.
That those two pitches I had are now no longer on the table.
Bring them up anyway. They might spark conversation.
I was gonna go with my first pitch being Come Lord 420, but we can eliminate that pretty safely.
Mother come.
That's,
okay, no,
there you
no.
go.
That's
yeah,
like,
but unless you're rocking an OnlyFans, I don't think that's the one you were looking for.
well, I'm here to drop. No, I'm kidding.
Link in the bio.
Link in the bio.
Look at my
Also got a
butthole.
Fansly.
What's that?
It's like
it's like OnlyFans, but different. That's all I know.
not as sexual, from my understanding.
So it's just pay me to let me do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's
Kinda.
like
Or
the
maybe
big
like
thing.
more artists are on there, like more like
Kinda?
traditional artists. I'll put air quotes around that.
Apparently, where most of OnlyFans money comes from is actually like one-on-one like conversation between the people, and I think Fansly is supposed to be more focused on that.
So it's
one-on-one.
like an escort service kind of idea of like most of the time people want conversation, so let's have one that's mostly just conversation.
Yeah, from my understanding. I could be completely wrong. Let me say that right now. Because I don't have an OnlyFans account, and I've never used Fansly either, so. That made it sound like I've used OnlyFans. I've never used OnlyFans.
I don't care if you did or not, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just that
This
I know
show
people don't care.
This show is sex positive.
This show
anyway
is also just like being open, right? I had a shitty day at Starbucks. I can say that. I work at Starbucks, to be clear. I had a shitty day today at work. That's fine. People know now. That's okay.
You know what?
I
I'll
would
be open and honest about it. I'm having tacos for dinner, or like more like burritos for dinner tonight.
I just
You know
shit my
what?
pants. Let's be honest about these
Yeah,
things.
Let's just be honest about
Sammy,
these things.
no, I want to backtrack a little bit. Sammy was like, oh, by the way, I work at Starbucks. I would love it if you just spent your entire day at Starbucks and the baristas were really mean to you because you wouldn't leave, and you came back and you were like, I had the worst day at Starbucks.
I'm just imagining like one barista, and I'm gonna do a fun thing I like to do with my microphone now. Just like one barista, just like Sammy's like sitting there like editing an episode on her laptop, and then you just have one barista just from behind the counter just go, "Yo, you customer, eat shit."
Oh, okay.
No, cry, you little baby. Cry, you little piss baby. Say you're a piss baby now. Say you're a piss baby. I'm going to get my other coworker who's another barista here at Starbucks out here.
Oh, yeah. Look at this little piss baby over here. Hey, you know where our roasted beans come from? Everyone thinks that like, oh, they're so burnt. You know why they're burnt? We roast you over them, piss baby.
We roast you. You're the beans, piss boy.
Yeah.
What you going to do? Piss your pants now? Piss them.
You gonna shit your pants? You
shit
gonna
your
come,
pants
maybe?
right now?
You like being yelled at? You want to come? Well, too bad. Now I'm going to talk quiet, so you can't get off. You can't get off on this.
Now it's ASMR. Which you can get off on, but it's not always a sexual thing.
I like let's open another coffee shop where the whole point is it's like Dick's Last Resort meets Starbucks, where it's just like they're gonna just give you shit the entire time you're there.
I have another idea that is spun off of this and will actually dovetail nicely into my topic.
But we still have to decide Sammy's Twitter handle.
Oh dang,
Yeah,
you're
we
right.
haven't
You're
done
right.
that. We've been meaning
But
hard.
I think this conversation has like led. I want to go next, is what I'm saying here. Caleb can go last. I'm
go
usurping
last.
you.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
But I think we should do the opposite of ASMR.
Okay.
BTNS.
Just yeah, sure. Just the most obnoxious noises you've ever heard anyone make on the internet. And
oh man.
and it's very loud.
Okay, this will sound bad. I'm not roasting this band. I actually do like them. But Cordell, this exists. It's called 100 Gex.
I hate them. I hate them so bad.
I
love
actually
them.
like 100
I
Gex.
love 100
I
Gex
listen
so
to
much.
him. I'll listen to Hand Crushed by Mallet any day. Like,
People are like 100 Gex, man. They're like visionary, you know, it's like turbo pop and it's really saying something about the industry. And I'm like, no, it's loud noise and they're annoying and I don't like them. And I'm okay if that makes me square. I hate them.
no, it's okay. Like, it's okay. I genuinely, it's one of when it comes to people liking or disliking music, I'm just very much like, you like what you like, you don't like what you don't like, end of story. I don't give a shit. Like,
I think I'll put it this way. My relationship with 100 Gex is kind of similar to Rick and Morty fans, where it's like the artist itself, I might be ambivalent on, I might like it, might dislike it, but too many of the people who have recommended 100 Gex to me have been some of the most annoying people I've ever met in my life.
Trudell, have you listened to 100 Gex before? I think you would like them. I'm just
Specifically, there's a remix album that is I say that is much better to get into because it's like Hand Crushed by a Mallet has like Fallout Boy on it. There's like a bunch. There's a different one that has Kiro Kiro Bonito with Kiro Kiro Bonito, Charlie XCX, and Rico Nasty, all on the same track.
Ringtone. Yeah,
it's so
Ringtone.
good.
Wow,
it's a very I can actually send it to you. Or make you look it up. At least one. I think that ringtone song you would enjoy. I think just
it is only fair for me to try it. Like I just railed on them conceptually very hard, but also like I am surprised all the times by the things I enjoy. So I am not opposed to giving it another shot. But what I did see was just obnoxious to me.
That is fair. Also, I think why I think you would even like the remix album is because it's not hyperpop. So like 100 Gex is all for the uninitiated is hyperpop. And one reason I also really like 100 Gex, which I didn't mean to just make this about 100 Gex.
We still haven't found your Twitter handle.
Okay, well, let me offer this and then I'll say what I was going to say about 100 Gex. I really like Mother Moth. So what if I just replaced the O and mother with an X because mother moth with O's?
I like that.
Doesn't fit.
I like that.
Or Mother Mothra.
I did
get
think
some
about
Godzilla
that
action
because
in there. Who doesn't love Mothra?
Or Mother Moth, Come Lord 420.
Mother Mothra is taken. Is there another character that looks like O that doesn't have to be Zero because Zero might look weird that could fit for Mother?
I would say Q, but then people may guess that you're affiliated with QAnon.
Yeah, no,
and
fuck
I don't
that.
want to. Yeah.
I really wish you could do like an umlaut over it and be like Mother Moth.
Or just MUTHER Mother.
Mother Moth.
Should I use a U for the moth too? Mother
No,
Moth.
that's Mother Moth.
That's Mother Moth.
And that, again, feels a little sexual.
Yeah. I think looking at it, though, honestly, I think I like X in the place. Because you can still tell what the word is. You could do it with the U as well.
Could you try it with an X in the O for moth as well? So it's consistent. So that way you can see Mother Moth with X's for the O's.
Yeah, here. I think that, yeah, I like that. I'm putting it at text for visual.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
I think that's really cool, actually.
That's really good. That's pretty sexy.
So the whole reason I even wanted to do this on the podcast, other than making podcast, is it has now been changed live on air.
Booyah.
Okay, but then 100 Gex. The reason I am so about them is the main Laura Less is the main. It's two people, but Laura Less, she's trans. And the whole reason she created hyperpop, basically. And the whole reason, like, you know how there's like the really high pitched vocals?
Yeah.
That is because she was trying to feminize her voice. And she was trying to make it more like this whole thing. So I just love that because I relate to that so much.
So, like, also just try to try to sell me on the concept of hyperpop. Like, you don't owe me anything, but just what is the point?
Do you like pop?
Yeah?
Take it and make it 200%. Like
But-
all the things people like about pop. The heavy bass line is prominent in hyperpop. The aggressive vocal styles, and the fact that pop is now just kind of a blend of the best parts of everything. So it's just everything amplified.
Yeah, but it's amplified in my ears, the little bit I've heard. It was amplified to a point of discomfort, of like,
There you go.
too much of it. So the point is to make you uncomfortable by having so much of it.
I think it's also
Yeah.
very much like there's a subsect of people that is growing more and more each day where, especially in American culture, overstimulation is the norm.
Yeah.
And so this is for people where overstimulation makes them feel normal and gives them a sense of grounding.
It's pop for ADHD people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For neurodivergence.
That's why my brother likes it a lot. Okay. Because my brother's like, 100 gex is really good. And I'm like, Cody, you're annoying. Shut up.
He's like, but that's why I like it, because I'm annoying. It's because I'm annoying.
Yeah, and that's fair, because my whole life, Cody's always been like blasting like metal, just very heavy, overstimulating music that I would be like, this is too much for me. But it makes sense. It's not too much for him.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
But-
That's why.
But why was what I was saying earlier? Why does that dovetail? Or you brought up something that dovetails perfectly.
The Dick's Last Resort
The
Starbucks
Dick's
crossover.
Yeah.
Well, that was a pitch.
Oh, that was the pitch. Okay.
No, that we were developing a pitch. My idea is for us to pitch something
Oh,
together.
We're gonna get
I want
ready
us to
pitch
come up with it.
something? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna come up with a pitch together as a team, and then I'm probably gonna sell you out at the end, but that's okay. You know,
I think it should be what Junk House would be as like a store. It could be like a restaurant. It could be like clothing.
that's nice.
But what would Junk House, this podcast, be?
Yeah. My specific idea I had was that we would pick another amusement park ride to turn into a movie, like with what Disney did
Ooh.
with Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean,
Ooh.
Jungle Cruise. We pick an amusement park ride that is well known and turn it into a film. Was my idea.
So I have a quick one for Cordell's and a quick one for Sammy's.
Let's do both.
I'm gonna go with Sammy's first. Junk House as a business would be a like diner
Okay.
that just you know how like every diner you go to has like a 20-page menu, and like inexplicably one of them is just like a weird like, oh, they have Greek food randomly.
Yeah.
It's all that page where it's all just like, how do they have Greek food and Mexican food and Lebanese food and you like crazy stuff.
So it is a restaurant full of all the head scratcher menu items.
Yes.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah.
My idea for Cordell's, have you ever been to Six Flags?
No.
So there's a ride in Six Flags over Georgia called The Joker, and I think there is something there that we can make a movie out of.
Sorry, that's already a movie though with Joaquin Phoenix. Walking Phoenix.
Okay, I'll
Okay,
change
but
my
don't
idea.
they have one called the Batman?
There is one called the
Because
Batman.
I think there's something
and there's
there.
the Riddler, so we can combine two.
We'll put the Batman
All
and the
three
Riddler in a
One.
movie.
Yeah.
And then
We
at
can
the
do all three.
And then spoiler alert at the very spoiler at the very end of that Batman ride, there can be a little you can have a tiny bit of the Joker ride.
Yeah, like
okay.
like you end a little bit under the Joker ride's tracks, and you're like, that ride looks fun. I bet I'd like to go on that immediately after.
Now
Wink,
hear me
wink.
out. Hear me out. There is also in Six Flags a lot of Looney Tunes stuff.
Oh.
And they sell basketballs. So what I'm saying is we can take Looney Tunes,
Oh.
take the Toonie Loons, take the basketball, and name any famous basketball player.
Michael Jordan.
Perfect example. I know
Shaquille
him more as-
O'Neal.
See, I know Michael Jordan more from his 1-year baseball stint.
Yeah,
I know
true.
more from Space Jam.
Yeah. And
True.
And Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, LSU grad, go Tigers.
Go Tigers! Sorry, that's
I
like
know
from
him
a show.
more as what I like to call him as Papa Shaq, because he does own several Papa Johns.
I also love his commercials.
Yeah, I do. The General insurance commercials, hysterical.
For the great roulette, you can get on Prime. Mm.
I know
General,
him
different time.
as Drew's friend.
Yeah, Drew met Shaq.
Yeah, our friend Drew, who hangs out with Charles Barkley every week.
Yeah.
I think if we were a restaurant, we would be
Doesn't have to be a
a
restaurant.
hot dog joint. Okay, just a food place, hot dog joint.
Well, I'm saying it doesn't even have to be a food joint. My original idea was just it could be any type of capitalist store.
I mean, if
You know
it's
what
any
it
type
is?
of store, we're
It's a
just a
thrift
game
store.
comic book store. Oh,
It's like a thrift store.
You're right.
It's
You're
like a
right.
thrift store that specializes in games and comic books and
Yeah.
fun stuff. And
Yeah.
there's a random section in the back, all sex toys.
All hot dog. Oh, I mean sex toys.
Hey, one and the same, baby.
And then you go outside and then there's the hot dog joint next to the
There's a
Junk
little
House
hot
Diner.
dog-
Because
there's a
I
hot
don't
dog
think
cart, yeah.
people have capitalized enough on just how good hot dogs are. You know, like there is
True.
something very, very satisfying in eating a hot dog, and like
Well, Cordell, you want to talk
Yeah?
about wieners in your mouth?
I would love to talk about wieners in my mouth because I have not had one in a long time,
But-
and I'd like to take another.
But what if our roller coaster was the Gatekeeper from Cedar Point? Only because that's a funny name and that could be a funny movie about
I feel like the
a-
gatekeeper is the backstory behind comic book guy from The Simpsons.
Yeah. Or it could be a Gatekeep Girl Boss Slay Queen movie.
Gaslight,
There
baby.
you go.
Gaslight. I forgot
I-
the third one.
Gaslight, gatekeeper.
There
girl
is a
boss.
small amusement park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania called Kennywood. And there's a roller coaster at Kennywood called the Jackrabbit, and that sucker is still made of wood. It is still a
Ooh,
wooden
it's one of
roller
those.
coaster, and I barely fit in the seat of the car because it's so old. And let me tell you, that sucker throws you around. So I would love for the Jackrabbit to be a movie, but it is a movie about a roller coaster that is sentient and kills people. And it's just the Jackrabbit, but they keep the amusement park running in a Jaws-like scenario. It's entirely avoidable, but people keep dying.
So
When are we making
have
this
bad-
movie?
I have bad news.
Oh.
I was doing some research. Apparently, there is a Joker movie, so we can't. Do
Dang
that.
it!
There
You're
is
kidding!
a Batman and Riddler movie
What?
that apparently does have a little bit of maybe the Joker in it.
No way. So you're saying my spoilers were actually true?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
pee
think
my
so.
pants.
Oh my
There,
God.
I have the worst news.
Oh no.
What? What is it?
Apparently, there's already a Looney Tunes basketball movie, and it was so successful that like 20
What?
years later, they made a sequel.
And the sequel's not
No.
very good?
The sequel also has Mr. Shaquille O'Neal in it, and
Oh, it
no, has
does?
LeBron James.
Yeah, I was about
It
to
has
say.
LeBron James. The sequel has
I'm gonna-
LeBron James, and apparently the original one had Michael Jordan in it. And I would like to apologize to our fans for leading
For
them
lying.
down the path for lying and making it seem like we came up with new movies when we accidentally ripped off exclusively Warner Brothers with all of the ideas.
That's okay.
Well, I just pissed
Warner
my
Brothers.
pants in upsetness.
Yeah. Warner Brothers, the last
More like Schmorner Brothers.
the only thing that I like know for a one of the main things I actually like from Warner Brothers is Animaniacs. So that's
Yeah,
we like
Animaniacs.
Animaniacs, but that's about it.
To
To the max. Da, 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 da. Put your wiener
So-
in my mouth.
I do have another idea.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I do have another pitch for a movie based off of an amusement park / amusement park ride.
Okay.
In Hershey, Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
there is a amusement park ride, an amusement park called Hersheyland.
Hersheyland. Yeah.
So here's Here's my idea.
If this is Willy Wonka, I'm gonna kill you. if this is a pitch for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I'm gonna strangle you.
Junk
Shut
House
up.
in the Chocolate
Shut
Factory.
Shut up, Cordell. This is my idea. Milton Hershey, who is the original owner of Hershey Chocolate. Cordell and Sammy have both left the podcast. So since it's just me and you listeners and they're not here anymore, I'm going to tell you my idea for the brilliant movie. It's just me and the listeners. Cordell and Sammy already left.
We're so gone. We left.
I hate you. No, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Milton Hershey, in order to find an heir to the Hershey throne, it's not going to be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I promise you. Okay. He sends out a series of red tickets hidden
Red
in
dollars.
chocolate bars. And different people from all around the world find them.
But they're all white.
They're all children. They are all white, and inevitably there is a granddad that has been lying for 50 years and being stuck in a bed, and he's a goddamn son of a bitch because he should have been supporting his family.
And he's got a Coke pinky.
Yeah, and he's stuck in that bed with the other grandparents too. That's an
However,
important thing.
this is where my movie gets different.
Okay.
They all show up, and Milton Hershey brings them in, and he just locks all the kids in a room.
Oh.
And it's a fight to the death, and whoever
Okay.
escapes is the one. And so it's like Hunger Games meets Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Squid
and it's
Games,
all in
Charlie.
the edible room. It's Squid Games, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. This is my $1 million movie pitch idea.
That sounds great.
But here's the thing: all of the kids still have the same names. Like it's still Violet, Veruca,
Charlie,
Charlie,
Bucket,
Augustus, and
Charlie
Right TV.
Bucket.
Charlie Bucket.
More like Charlie, fuck it.
But here's where my idea.
Charlie and
it's
Mike
all
Bone
the
down in
same.
the chocolate river. If you know what I'm saying.
It's all the same names, but here's the difference: is Augustus Gloop is actually a cannibal, and he just eats the rest of the kids. This movie is rated R, and all the kids are actually 19-year-olds
Legally, yeah.
legally,
metaphorically.
But yeah, no, Augustus Gloop just eats the rest of them, and then makes Hersheyland. I think we can make this a movie.
So I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory already has too many startling parallels with the Saw franchise to not go in the Saw direction.
Yeah.
And instead, that all their families come in, and here's the deal, because the point of this is already them getting punished for their misdeeds
Yeah.
and for being bad people. So Willy Wonka, or Charles Milton Hershey, is that his name?
Charles Milton Hershey. Yeah.
Charles Milton Hershey knows that they're bad people and is punishing them for being bad people, and they're locked in food-related traps. And the only way they can survive, theoretically, is by eating their way out of the traps they're in, because they're all gluttons anyway.
So like it's at some point there's just like a note that they find that just says, "I know what you did last summer." Like
yeah, and then a guy with a hook hand from a fishing town comes.
Yeah.
The hash slinging slasher. Just a quick shout out though. So Corridor Digital, have you guys heard of them?
No.
Big YouTube channel, have made a lot of really cool videos, a lot of really cool short films. They have a secondary channel called Corridor Crew. The big thing is they're all very good at like special effects. They made a video looking now on YouTube 2 years ago, and it's rated R Willy Wonka. So they just took the original movie with Gene Wilder. That's his name?
Gene Wilder.
I always remember his name. His face. I'm not good at names. But
Eugene Wilder.
Eugene Wilder. But they just like took it and edited the special effects to make it like, look where all the kids die.
Yeah.
So shout out to that, because that's basically what. It's very good. It's very funny.
What I reverse engineered on accident.
Yeah. But Caleb,
So, Caleb, put your wiener
put
in our
your
mouth.
wiener inside of our mouths.
All right.
Metaphorically.
And spirit.
I'm here to talk about
Emotionally?
hot dogs.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, one
Oh.
man. And if you open text and click on the image that is marked as a spoiler, you will see the man that I'm talking about.
Oh.
The one and only Mr. Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut.
That man, that is not the face of a healthy man.
This man, Joey Chestnut, in 2018, which is when this picture was taken, ate 78 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes. Before that, he had already set the record at 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
I just call that a barbecue.
Cordell, are you saying you could eat more than 72 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
I really do think I could.
Are you being really serious right now?
So you know that like false confidence thing that you find a lot of, like all these men thinking they can beat Serena Williams in a tennis match, or all these people thinking they could take on a tiger in a fight. Yeah. I think I could eat more hot dogs than Charlie Chestnut.
So Joey Chestnut. Put some
That's what I
respect on
said.
his name. Okay, now
Joey and the hot dog
thing.
factory.
Ooh.
I watched
And it's just a brothel.
There is actually also a National Hot Dog Council that I am on their website right now.
Okay.
The council has spoken.
Here is some fun things just to know. Hot dogs were the first foods eaten on the moon.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That's good.
According to the National Hot Dog Council, a hot dog is not a sandwich.
I have a whole like graphic that I will share in a later episode about this subject.
Now, during hot dog peak season, because there is a peak season for hot dogs.
It's June.
Memorial Day to Labor Day is the peak season. Americans on average in total eat 7 billion hot dogs. That is billion with a B.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of dogs.
I heard a very similar statistic about your mom.
Cordell, I will kill you in the night. I will sneak into your marital bed with you and your wife in it, and I will slit your throat with no mercy.
At least we'll finally be in bed together again.
Yeah. The moment before you die.
Oh, God.
Hey, that'll be the best orgasm of my life.
The final orgasm. The orgasm of
It's
death.
the final orgasm. Ba-da-doo-doo.
I would love to go mid-orgasm.
No, but
That true,
Cordell,
though.
I wanted to address something you said earlier, which is false confidence. Especially when it comes to eating, because this brings up a story that will be very brief. I once received a call at 10 p.m. From a friend of mine. This was several years ago. He called me and he said, "Caleb, how many pancakes can you eat right now?" And I said, "I don't know, like 20." And he said, "You're a fucking idiot. How many pancakes can you eat right now?" My brother and a group of his friends went to IHOP on all-you-can-eat pancake day at midnight and ordered all-you-can-eat pancakes and had been there from 12 a.m. that day. They had been there for almost 24 hours with the goal of each of them eating 100 pancakes in a day.
Incredible.
And they called me as a pinch hitter because none of them could get to 100.
Did you?
I said, and I quote, "I am type 1 diabetic and don't want to go to the hospital over eating pancakes," and did not go.
And you know what, Caleb? You're a coward.
Yeah, I am. I am fully okay with being called a coward over this. That's fine. I just wanted to talk about hot dogs and competitive eating and talk about Joey Chestnut and his 74 hot dogs in 10 minutes.
I am not kidding you guys once we start streaming, oh, by the way, we're going to start streaming, everybody. Once we start streaming, I would love to see how many hot dogs I could eat on stream.
I
We
want to
could do
do
that.
this. Also, just a statistic from the Hot Dog Council. This is 2 statistics that I think are the most buck wild on this list. Is no one over 18 should put ketchup on a hot dog. That's
What?
your 25 facts about hot dogs.
Okay, that's like the only.
Tell
way
me
I
how to
eat
live
hot
my
dogs.
life. Are you kidding me?
It's the funniest. It is like, fuck you if you put ketchup on your hot dog and you're an adult. The
I
other
remember
thing-
being a freaking child, little piss baby.
The other thing is that they said, and I quote, Americans say the celebrity they'd most like to enjoy a hot dog with is Betty White.
Oh,
Which,
rest
like,
in
rip.
peace.
Rest in
Rip.
peace. But
Rip,
also,
Betty.
what survey did you do to find out that Americans want to share a hot dog with Betty White? What kind of question is that? It's like, which one of these do you want to share a hot dog with? A, Betty White. B, Jeremy Irons, the voice of Scar in Lion King. C, Dave. Or D, Elijah Wood. Those are your 4 options. And everyone looked and said, well, who the fuck is Dave? And then Dave Chappelle just walked around the corner and said, it's me.
It's me, bitch.
I really think what happened with that survey was they were like, hey, which people of the world, what celebrity would you want to eat a hot dog with? And no one said the same answer. And then there were 2 Betty Whites and she won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Honestly.
So this is the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council. And if you want to know, they have media, which is all about consumption of hot dogs and other such things. And there are some sausage basics, including a sausage glossary. We will go into a sausage glossary at some point. And there
Again,
is also
all of this is porn.
there
I know
is
it.
also
This is all
hot
porn.
dog culture because they go into a deep dive on hot dogs, and I love it.
There's a whole page about is a hot dog a sandwich. I know
There
there's a
is.
whole podcast. Do you guys know Rhett and Link of Good Mythical Morning?
Yes, yeah,
Yes,
there's
they've got a-
podcast
One
in
of
their
their
crew.
one of their good mythical chef Josh, who used to make all of their food for him. I think they have some other chefs now that Josh is focused on the actual mythical kitchen channel. But him and one of the other chefs have a podcast called Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich?
And they just talk about controversial food opinions. But,
Yeah.
man.
Classic.
All right, Cordell, what did we learn this episode?
Well, I didn't really learn anything except that there's some weak idiot out there named Joey Chestnut, and I can eat more hot dogs than him. What do you eat? Like 78? Is that what you said?
74 in 10 minutes.
Well, I can eat 78 in 10 minutes. I'm cracking your record, Joey. Bye, everybody. I'm out.
Oh no, guys, Cordell's going to put a bunch of wieners in his mouth. Oh my gosh, they're
no.
flying at his face. There's so much, and there's sauce on him. There's wieners and wiener sauce all over him. It's impossible. I don't understand how he's doing it. Oh my gosh, he's taking every single one of them perfectly. They're just flying at him. All right, listeners. This starts the arc of the episode, and this it shouldn't be a continuing segment ever. But Cordell had to leave, which is why I accused him of having wiener and wiener sauce fly at his face.
Yeah. And we don't
And
know
that-
if he'll ever even listen to this. So we'll see.
We don't know if yeah. So this is going to be the fun part. Sammy,
Yeah.
this is what we're going to do when a host has to step away for the last few minutes of recording. What are some of the best things about Cordell?
Cordell is just really smart and funny and cool.
Yeah. I just know it's one of those things where it's like people don't like it when you talk nicely about them to their face. So we're going to talk nice about him behind his back.
Fuck you, Cordell. We love you.
Yeah, fuck you, Cordell. You're a genuinely good human being. Fuck you. Your wife loves you.
The only reason you had to leave is because you have friends who love you.
You have friends who love you and you like to keep with your commitments when you make them. No, but Cordell's got wiener sauce all over his face now, so
So he's wienering it up.
he's wienering. Well, Sammy, did we learn this episode? What is the full lesson that we got from all three of our topics?
That this is a funny podcast and people should listen to it.
Yeah. And thank you to the one and only Reverend Horton Heat for letting us use their song Psychobilly Freakout as our theme music.
Yeah, if you want to follow us on Twitter, our Twitter, Junkhouse specific Twitter, is Junkhouse, but the O in house is a 0. As you heard earlier, my new Twitter, if you want to follow me, is Mother Moth, but the O's in Mother and the O in Moth are both X's because it looks cool.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find that at Awkward from 1997. Which we might also change my Twitter handle one of these days. Who knows?
If you want to follow Cordell, he's Cordelicious on Twitter.
It's like Fergalicious, but Cordell.
But Cordelicious.
Cordelicious. You can find us on Fridays. Write a review.
Yeah, write a little review.
Leave
for
a note.
us.
Leave a little note.
By the
for
time
us.
you are hearing this recording, we will probably have already streamed once or twice, but we're probably going to be trying to stream relatively often, probably on Fridays to match the podcast drop days.
Yeah. And it could be all of us, it could be just two of us, it could be just one of us. It is truly, because we all have hectic schedules right now, kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, and that's going to be on my Twitch channel, which is right now it's just called Saint Sammy. But we might be, if I'm able to change that, I probably will match that with my Twitter and call that Mother Moth as well.
Yeah. If you like this podcast, others you can listen to. Now, wonderful. We are currently mid-season 2. Very fun, very good, very spooky horror vibes for season 2. Season 1, I was the DM, and it was just kind of space vibes was pretty much the whole idea.
It was the whole vibes. It was good.
The whole
it was
vibes.
fun.
And Just Super is Cordell and I's podcast that Sammy has guested on several times at this point, where we deep dive into comic books and superhero history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And superhero movies. And just anything superhero. But yeah.
And as we say every week, man, I really got to shit.
That wasn't on purpose.